Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to start off with all honor, glory, and praise and worship to our power, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honor to our apostle, elders, great millstone, we will teach you on sound doctrine. A strong honor to the hopeful elect and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, children. That the Lord will have mercy on these last days. Your brother HAQADASH, representing GMS branch here in Cleveland. All right, Lord willing to bring out an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, Yahawashi. All right, so just a line backing off a brother's lesson. Brother, I don't know if he's still alive, but the brother Shamak from the Cleveland branch. He was on the live. I hopped on it for a second. Then the spirit hopped on me to go live, man. The title was Anti Yahawashi. Matter of fact, I can show you his. Page real quick, so you can like, subscribe, get edified. GMS Fisher the Hunters. Okay. All right, go ahead and subscribe to the brother's page. All right, and be edified through the spirit and power of Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. I look like the brother's still alive. So yeah, man. So the title of this lesson is a line backing off the brother's title, Anti Yahawashi, man, because that's what Esau. That's what he's his whole agenda is. His mission is. One thing we have to understand is, let me start off with this. One thing we have to understand is that Yahawashi is made unto us the things which is going to preserve us in the day of the Lord's wrath. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and 30. It says, "But of him are ye in Hamashiach Yahawashi, who of the Most High is made unto us wisdom and righteousness and sanctification and redemption." So Yahawashi, he's made unto us, wisdom, righteousness, sanctification, and redemption. The Lord Yahawashi became all things for us. He is all things for us. He is the first and the last. Okay, he's the Aleph. He's the Aleph and the Tha. Okay, so what this society agenda and its goal is to push that whole vibration from the Israelite man, woman, and child. That's what the mission is. Okay, that's what the agenda is, man. Okay. Let me go here real quick. 1 Timothy 4. Come on now. It's 1 Timothy 4. And let me go straight to the point. This is 1 Timothy 4, and let's start at 1. It says, "Now the Spirit speaketh expressively." So the Spirit is stressing this issue that in the latter times, which we are currently in the latter times, we're in the last days of Esau's reign, and we're in the last days of the deranged mind of an Israelite man, woman, and child. This is the last stage of that, man. All right, the last steps and the last stages of Esau's experiment. He uses us as live bait. Okay, I'm currently watching the show Black Lightning. At first, it irks me. It still irks me. The fighting, the guy is kind of, to me, he's a terrible superhero. But he's a good actor. I like his role, but at the same time, he's a simp. Okay, and daughters, it's a whole that alphabet game. They got to throw all that in there to confuse Jake. But literally, the whole show is based off the scriptures, just like everything else. But it's clear in this specific show, Black Lightning on Netflix. Okay, I'm in the 3rd season. However, that whole show is based off the scriptures. Okay. So we're living in these last times, and the last times we're living in is manifesting themselves in our very reality. It's to the point that Jake is seeing it every day and all day, and they can and they just pushing it off because there it's been acknowledged, man. You can't go anywhere nowadays or do anything with some form of the scriptures or some form of the truth expressing itself. It says, now the Spirit speaketh expressively, and that's mainly because the Lord has allowed the prophets to reemerge on the scene. That in the latter times some should depart from the faith. And because the prophets have emerged themselves on the scene, Esau has tightened the grip on the mindset of the Israelites. They know they already got 2/3. They're trying to get the elect. And that's why I mentioned them show Black Lightning, because you got to, I'm not going to spoil it, but you just have to watch the show to understand it, because that's what the show is about. The show is literally about them experimenting on Jake and using them as weapons, okay, for their benefits. And that's what Esau has done. He has used us as a weapon. He has used us to build up his society. He has used us to forward as a weapon, okay, because of Esau was able to emerge in politics and philosophies and doctrines and power, because he captive the minds of first physically and then to the mental state of it of the Israelites, and he weaponized us to be used for his benefits, to forward his agenda and to forward his society and to forward his government, man. Okay, and his dominance on the entire world. Okay, he weaponized us. Okay, he turned us against ourselves. He deprived us, okay, of our essence, and we uphold the essence of Yahawashi. Okay, we once were known as the sons or the children, okay, in the of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. The people noticed Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi and they acknowledged his essence on us at a point in time. But when you go into Leviticus 4, and real quick, Leviticus 4, not I said Leviticus, Lamentations, so like it, Lamentations 4, okay, just real quick, because this is what his goal is. His goal is to X out, okay, push out the vibration of Yahweh Shai. Because what is Yahweh Shai? I read it, 1 Corinthians 1:30. He's everything that makes up life, okay. This is Lamentations. Lamentations 4:1. It says, "How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out on the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion," because it starts with the men. It starts with the children, the son, the bunium, okay, of Israel. Okay, Israel continues as a nation because of the men in the nation. Okay, it says comparable to fine gold, starting with Yahweh Shah, our big brother, starting with Yahweh Yahweh Shah, the father, and then the son. Okay. It says comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers? Like you. The work of the hands of the potter, even the sea monsters. Yeah, and that's the point. It says the precious sons of Zion comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers? Because it mentioned, and remember in first verse 1, it says, how has the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? Well, when you do your research, I did a video on this. I can't remember the title. It was years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, about gold and when it's dipped, and gold when it's become fine gold, when it's in its fullness. Okay, it can't be tarnished. The only way gold is tarnished is through oxygen. Oxygen, if you look at it from a spiritual point of view, oxygen meaning this other breath, this other intake of knowledge, which is these philosophies and doctrines which Eve was seduced in the garden. Okay, and we took on these ways, and therefore death has entered into the world, as it tell you in Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, and those who uphold to his side, they will find it. So death, these philosophies and the doctrines, this new identity has cultivated our culture, cultivated our mindsets as a people. Okay, so that other breath we have took on, that covering, another covering that was not of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Okay, so Esau's whole agenda, his whole goal is to keep you in that breath, to keep you in that mindset. The mind is connected to the spirit and the soul, to keep you programmed to his formation. Okay,
So when you go back to 1 Timothy 4:1, says, now the Spirit speaketh expressively. So now the Yahawashi is expressively expressing his you know what I'm saying, his dynamic on the earth, man. And that's why you see everything going crazy and haywire. You see all the spirits falling into the lots on the right hand side and on the left hand side. You see earthquakes in diverse places. You see the MOTB being expressed in all the media platforms. You see a WW3 being expressed at a height. I mean, I'm not just talking about being expressed on a media platform. I'm talking about being expressed on a physical. These dudes is at full combat over there in Ukraine and in various places in the world. You got the Taiwan situation with China, North Korea, and U.S. just put the article just came out today with the U.S. just put a sanction on North Korea and so forth. Bro, this is what Yahawashi was talking about. This is what he was preparing us for. Any sensei, any general is going to prepare his men for war. Okay? And this is what Yahawashi has been doing. He's been preparing our minds for war, getting us ready for the battle. What does a soldier do? When a soldier go off the war, he didn't look when he get drafted and so forth, he don't just go off the war without no tactical training. He prepares. How do he prepare? He sacrificed. What is the sacrificing? The things that he once knew. Family, the world. He's isolated. When you watch the movie Dead Presidents, Lorenz Tay was talking about that. Man, I can't focus on them, man, because emotions get involved. And if emotions get involved, therefore it throws me off my, you know what I'm saying, my axle, and therefore I can't focus on the war at hand, and therefore I get killed. And what good is my family? What good am I to my family if I am killed? So that's the mindset to have. That's the mindset to have. We're at a battle, man. We're at war. So knowing that, it brings me to, again, going back to the title with the brother Shamak was going into, anti-Yahawashi, man, because this society is built around Xing out the mindset of Yahawashi. And having a mindset of Yahawashi is life. So when you go first Timothy 4:1 says, now the Spirit speaketh expressively. You can hear the emotion behind my voice. It says that in the latter times which we're currently dwelling in, some shall depart from the faith. It's to the point when you go to Psalms 9, it says the Lord's gonna execute vengeance upon all those who have forgotten power, meaning all those who have forgotten Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. The whole globe at one point in time acknowledged Yahawah, Yahawashi. He through the miraculous magnificent power that the Lord has shown on the earth, Egypt, and the deliverances from captivity and different various captivities, and how he slaughtered the Amorites and the kings and different kings. The nations once talked about that, man, but now the whole globe has forgotten that power. Now we're emerging on the scene again, but Esau is trying to halt that. He's trying to halt prophecy. You see, he's trying to X out the whole concept of the Father and the Son. He gave you hell doctrine. He gave you the Mary worship. Okay, he gave you all these different forms of philosophies and doctrines, man. It says some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits, just like going back to the garden. When you go into Genesis 3, it talks about if I could grab that real quick, and then we're gonna close out Genesis 3. And when you go to the bottom, bear with me, because Eve talks about that. If I could find it. Bear with me. Because Eve, she literally mentions this, that the serpent, which is a man, okay, he seduced her. All right. Bear with me, man. I know it's around here somewhere. It says, okay, yeah, Khan. Here you go, right here. Now it says Genesis 3:13, in the Most High Yahawashi, our power said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Right, beguiled. That when you go into this word beguiled, I can just grab it real quick. When you go into this word beguiled, it should say seduced. Let's see what it says. Okay. beguiled, right? Which is to deceive. Okay. Here you go. The strong definition. Mentally to delude or morally to seduce. Right. So the man seduced, he basically mind after, if you make it make sense. And he tricked her and deceived her. Okay. All right. With witchcraft, sorcery. When you go into that word serpent, it goes in the first verse, goes into one who practiced divination. Okay. Oh, it says seize. Oh, it says seize. So he took hold on her mind. He took hold, because the scripture talk about, give me any plague but the plague of the mind. Once your mind is gone, you're gone. Okay, when you look and go into Solomon, when he got older into his latter years, his mind was gone, man. Okay, so when your mind is not there, you're detached. So Esau's whole agenda is to detach you. Actually, for the sake of the video, I'm not gonna go into really detail, but I got a video. I remember Apostle Tahar went into this a couple years ago, going into the God gene, and it was what's his name? Hill Gates. Okay, Hell Gates. Okay, Hell Gates. Okay, he did a video. It was a video going back in 2003. He presented what is it? A propaganda, or he presented a case before billionaires and trillionaires that were sitting in a classroom. He said, we got to take this brain, and we got to take this brain, and we got to make this brain look like this brain. And it was a brain of an it was a what is it? What do you call them? Atheist. Okay, he took an atheist brain and he took a religious brain. He said, we got to take this religious brain and we got to make it look like an atheist brain. Okay. And the guy said, how do we do that? He said, what's one thing every man had once in his life? And the guy mentioned the FLU. And he said, exactly. We do this by the common trait in all men. Okay. And he mentioned such and such and such, that stabber. I'm going to just say that. Okay. This is how they was going to issue it out into the whole world, and which we had back in 2020, which is it catapult the whole thing. And this is the first stage, or not even the first stage. This is another stage. I'm gonna say another stage in Esau's agenda to X out Yahawashi. Okay, so when you go back, let me finish this, and I'm gonna close out with the scripture that came in my mind when a brother was he titled his lesson. Okay, like I said, subscribe, like, and share, and be edified to the brother's page, GMS Fisher. Fishers turn to hunters. But this is 1 Timothy 4:1. It says, not a spirit speaking expressing that in latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, showing you that it's not of Yahawashi, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience sneered with a hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats with the Most High, which the Most High have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Now, I'm gonna go to Revelation 13, because that's the first scripture that I thought of, and then we're gonna close out. This is Revelation 13, and 18 says, here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Let me see if it pull up in here. Okay, yeah, con Salaki. Bear with me. It's lucky. So you see, it says here 666, right? Which when you go into it, which is chi psi stigma, okay. Let's see what comes up. You see it here. This is the Greek. Okay. This is how matter of fact, before I get this, let's read. Let's jump up. Let's jump up. Let's jump up. Let's jump up. Let's go Revelation 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Okay. That the image of the beast shall speak. And how is he speaking? Through his philosophies and his doctrines. Okay. This deception that's over the whole entire globe. All right. The minds of the people, and cause, except the elect of Yahweh Yahawashi, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed and right should be exiled from society, man. Okay, should be exiled from society, man. Okay. Um, so like, no, that's not what I want. Right. So this is the words like kill, right? Uh, o opiki o a poke tino a poke tino. Okay, it says because my computer don't play the sound for some reason no more. I don't know why. It says to kill in any way, whatever, destroy, to allow to perish, extinguish, abolish. Okay, it says to destroy, to put to death, kill, slay. So right, to abolish, to extinguish. All right. So this means that when we don't, it's gonna come a point in time we're gonna have to choose life or death. So when we choose life, Lord willing, Esau is gonna make it his job. That's why Cotton Swab, all right, the head of the WEF, or the the WEF, he had made it his job to mention that he admires China's system, okay, because they have a social credit score and they have a system in place where they monitor you basically 24/7. That's what these computers and these phones is about. It's a testing site, all right, to monitor you daily, 24/7. And China has a social credit score. I looked at a matter of fact, I got the video, man. I got the video on my phone. It's a video of here we go right here. It says children pay for lunches with fake facial recognition technology. If they have a bad social credit score, they can't pay and don't eat. Let me show you this real quick. I'm not gonna play the song. I'm not gonna play the song, but I'm gonna show this on the screen real quick. All right. Let me get this on the screen. Hey, Shalom Zaquan, Yahawashi on Shah Brakatha. All right. Brakathum Akim. Now here it is right here. You see it? Okay, brother posted this on social media. Now you see them okay. You see them face scanning they face, you know what I mean? Yeah. So this is what Esau's whole agenda is. His whole goal is to get you to comply because he wants your soul. He already know he got the 2/3. That's not his goal. His goal is to get the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. His goal is to stop prophecy, to halt prophecy. His goal is to stop Yahawashi from coming back so that he can reign supreme forever. Okay? But we know through the prophecies that that's not the case, right? So again, going back to when you go back to the scriptures, Revelation 13, when had read 15, he says thou shalt be killed, meaning what? X'd out from society. Okay, because those individuals are going to hold to the vibration of Yahweh Yahawashi. And we're going to close with Revelation 13 and 18. It said Chi Psi stigma, okay, which when you go into this X, it says that's the X, that's the Xing out the Messiah. Chi Psi stigma, Chi Xing out the Messiah, Psi goes into what? You see this little symbol in the middle, which when you go into the campaign of Joe Biden or Sleepy Joe, Creepy Joe, his matter of fact, I'm gonna just show you because that's his campaign. I showed it before. When we go into Joe Biden, you look at his sign, if it'll pull up for the images. When you go into it, there you go. You see the E, it says Biden. When you go into the E in Biden, it's the same thing as this right here, this symbol in the middle. Okay, it's the same thing as this symbol in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna show you this. Bear with me. Okay, I'm gonna show you this here. Let's see if it pull up. Stigma. Eyesight stigma. Let me go to images. All right, just showing you that he's because Esau's he's a proud man. All right, he's bold. Okay, and what he does is he boasts. Okay, and when his boast, he show you who he is. What they say in the world, the best thing to hide something is in plain sight. He show you who he is in plain sight, man. Okay. Here you go. Greek word sigh. See if it come up. It should come up, man. You know, Esau, he hides a lot of this information more and more as we get closer. There you go, right here. Here you go, right here. Okay, so you see the sigh right here. Lord willing, my curse will show it. It says the sigh, which is the E. It's the same thing in Sleepy Creepy Joe's campaign ad. Okay, Biden. Okay, showing you what this E or this sigh symbol stand for. It stands for his wisdom. Okay, his plan. Okay, and what his plan is. Okay, this is the number of his name. Okay, and so when you go into, you know what I mean, it says Kai, Sai, so that we know the Kai is to X out the Messiah, which is, what is the Messiah? Life. What is the Messiah? Doctrine. What is the Messiah? Immortality, redemption, sanctification. I read it in 1 Corinthians 1 and 30. So his goal is to X out that concept from the Israelite man and woman and child. Okay, and then bring in his wisdom, the Sai, okay, and the stigma is the what? Ultimately, the final stage of his agenda, which is that pricking, okay, that pricking, that stigma, okay, that piercing. I did a lesson on this. Apostle Tahar went into this, man, going into that kawar. I went into the various forms of that word kawar, okay, which goes into a piercing, which goes into a cave or a cavity is a kawar. That's the Hebrew word for karaks, which is kawar, like a cave, a cavity in the tube, which is a hole, a cave, okay, which is what he's gonna make when he put that stigma into the hand of the individuals. It makes a cave in the hand. It pierces the hand, a hole, okay. What does a cavity do? A cavity decays and it brings sicknesses to the body. Okay, it means your tooth is sick, if you understand. Okay, so that's the last stage. That's his last letter in Esau's agenda, is to prick you. When you go to Revelation 16, okay, that's ultimately that cave, that cavity is going to make a sword in you. A couple years ago, I brought out the dream that the one lady had. She reported my video that I did on it. Esau is going to be Esau, but she had went into a dream that she had about a man who had that Karax in his hand, and he was running around on the street, and he was screaming out, "Where's the Christians? Where's the Christians? I gotta find the Christians." And then it was a guy in the high tower, two guys in the high tower, and they pressed the button and blew him up. But the point is that he had that stigma in his hand, and he was trying to find the Christians, meaning the men of the Lord, to find understanding on what's going on. And he tried to take it out of his body. Before he took it out, they blew him up. That's the point. So here you go, Kai Sai stigma. So I just wanted to land back on the brother's lesson, because the time is coming. That's the whole agenda behind Esau's plan, is to X out the Messiah, X out life, X out us being superhumans, if you will. Okay, us having that God gene, that God capability, being like our Father, having that essence of Yahawah, Yahawashi. He's trying to wipe that out of our DNA. And if brothers have a chance, you know what I'm saying, brothers have a chance to look up what's his name? James Gate. Is that his name? James Gate, I believe is his name. He's an Israelite. Look up James Gate, and he's a scientist, and he did something called the genetic makeup code. I bring this out often, but he goes into and he one day he was doing this experiment, and he saw the gene or the genetic makeup code in the body. He saw it correcting itself. And he was like, "Whoa!" So I'm not gonna, you just got to do your research on it. But the point is, the guy name is James Gate, and he came up with not came up with something, but he discovered the genes in the body genetically correcting themselves. And that it makes sense why Esau constantly have to put chemtrails in the air, and he constantly have to put the things in our food, and constantly have to throw up enchantments every day, because the body naturally corrects itself. The Lord has designed the body to naturally heal itself. When you get sick, your body heats up. That's natural. Okay. Esau will tell you that's off, but the body naturally does that because it's heating up. Because when something heats up, it purges whatever the problem is out. That's what the Lord is about to get ready to do. He's about to heat the earth. He's about to purge out the cancer of the earth, which is Esau, Edom, in his mindset. The body naturally does that. So that's what Esau is trying to get rid of. He's trying to get rid of. That's why he deemed these type of information. When you go on YouTube, you can't even put a YouTube video out about healthy diets and healthy ways to fight off different ways, different sicknesses in life, man. Esau, he deemed it as medical information, man. So anywho, man, that's all I wanted to bring. I wanted to land back just quickly on the brothers lesson, the anti-Yahawashi, because you have many antichrists, many all the politicians, all the churches on the corners, okay, the government, okay, anybody that don't have the truth, they're considered an anti-Messiah. Meaning what? They're anti, meaning they're against Yahawashi. They're against truth, man. And Yahawashi is the vine, and we are the branches, and we stem from him. He's the creator. He the Father gave him the blueprint, and he created the things that we see in our realm today, man. Okay. So Lord willing, this was edifying. Oh, Salakia. Shalom to the bros again. Shalom to Quan. Shalom Ak. You know what I mean? Shalom to the brothers and sisters tuning in on the late night. This is Isaiah 30 and 1, the brother GMS Fishers to Hunters. Subscribe to the brother page, brother from out here from GMS Cleveland branch. Shalom Ak. The brother posted. This is where, like, again, the inspiration came from for the title, Anti-Yahawashi. He was just going live. Isaiah 30 and 1. Woe to the rebellious children, said the Most High, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, right? Because you can link this with Ezekiel 29. They talk about the confidence. It should no more be the confidence of the house of Israel, because our people, they they rely on Esau. That's their father. The WIC programs, the EBTs, the government assistance, the police, the 911, the hospitals, anything that Esau provides in the society, our people rely on that, man. They cover with the covering that is not of the Lord, man. They don't trust in the Lord. So when the time to trust in the Lord comes upon you and meet you face to face, you're not going to know what to do. See, right now we're getting spiritual experience. Okay. That's what the Lord is doing. Isaiah 33 and 6. Knowledge and wisdom should be the stability, as Apostle Tahar say, of thy times, and the strength of our salvation. The wisdom and knowledge is what we're going to have in that time. See, I saw a title from a brother earlier. It said, Salaki, if I'm gonna butcher it, but it mentioned something about the elect being put to death, and you still can't stop us or stop the elect from receiving salvation. Something to that effect. Esau think that he's gonna come with his forces and put you to death, thinking that's gonna stop you from receiving your crown, man. But the scriptures say in Revelation 3, let no man take thy crown. So it's nothing you can do, Esau, that's gonna stop the elect from receiving their glory, man. Because when the elect receive their glory, Yahweh shall receive their glory. Yahweh receives his glory. All right, through the chain of command and through the proper events coming to pass. Okay. Continuing says that walk to go down to Egypt, Isaiah 30 and 2, it says into Egypt, Mizraim, which is the currently spiritual Egypt which we dwell in, meaning captivity, and have not asked at my mouth the prophets to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. The prophets have the answers, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore, shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt. A shadow is a covering. When you go underneath a tree, that's a shadow. The tree shadow protects you from the what? The rays of the sun. That's a shadow. So when you go under another shadow or another umbrella other than Yahweh, Yahawashi, the wings of Yahweh, Yahawashi, the chariots and his essence, therefore you get destroyed, you get devoured, man. So the trust in the shadow of Egypt is going to be your confusion. So when you need the Father the most, you're not going to know what to do. You're going to seek the prophets, but then the mouth is going to be shut. The Lord is going to close his mouth. He's not going to say anything. He's not going to break it down. He's not going to explain it to you. Okay? Like the scriptures say, in your affliction, you should seek me early. Soon as an atheist is drowning, he called on the Lord. But he was an atheist. He didn't believe in the Lord his whole life. But all of a sudden, when he's drowning, he believed in the Lord. Again, like I mentioned, Bill Gates in 2003 had a video. I got it on my phone. I'm not going to play it. I might upload it to BitChute or one of the offshoot, avenues, or the TikTok. You know what I'm saying? But Bill Gates, again, in 2003, had mentioned that, man. That whole agenda was take the mind of a man who was religious brain to look like the brain of an atheist, man. To completely take the God gene from his conscience. Okay? So Lord willing is edifying. The whole goal of Esau Edom is to X out the Lord, X out Yahawashi, X out the bridge, X out communication, X out life, X out the Father, X out everything that pertains to the heavens, man. And that's what his job is on the earth. Okay? So Lord willing is edifying. But we know Matthew 24, it says if it were possible, they would have seen the very elect, but it's not possible. The Lord is going to set up a standard, meaning a way to escape for the elect of the Father, to escape the crutches and the clutches and the snares of Esau. Even if we have to be put to death, man, we still have got the victory, man. So shalom again to the hopeful elect. Again, I want to close out by giving all honor and glory and praise and worship to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors again to our apostle, our elders, great millstone, who rule well, teach you on sound doctrine. Strong shalom to the hopeful elect and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, children of the Lord have mercy on in these troubling, perilous times that we have coming up upon us, man. All right. So Lord willing is edifying to a member of the Lord's elect, the water for the precepts brothers, the water to everybody that tuned in tonight. Again, shalom. Shalom.